Hi, I'm Jason Wagner. Today I'd like to tell you about our initiative to promote the benefits of Act 89, the Transportation Funding Act of 2013. The Keystone Transportation Funding Coalition worked hard to assure the passage of the Funding Act, along with my organization, the Pennsylvania Highway Information Association, or PHIA. The Act eventually will raise $2.3 billion in additional revenue per year for transportation. Recently, Pennsylvania's Transportation Secretary, Leslie Richards, talked about the progress that has occurred to date because of Act 89.
As I go around the country, while many states continue to struggle with the question of finding added resources for critical highway and bridge needs, we in Pennsylvania are enjoying the benefits of the bipartisan consensus reached in Act 89. We are on track to award roughly $2.4 billion in construction contracts this year for roughly 820 highway and bridge projects. We did $2.5 billion last year, and those numbers compare with only $1.5 billion we would have been able to do prior to Act 89's passage. We are making headway on the structurally deficient bridge problem. From a high of 6,034 in 2008, we have the number down to its lowest, which is 3,783, below the 3,800 milestone, as of March 31st this year. Our national ranking also has decreased by one, the first time in decades. Now that title is owned by Iowa, and they can keep it for all I am concerned. Act 89 impacted not just our roads and bridges, but also our transit. And it made a big difference in how we are able to fund transit here in Pennsylvania. In the coming fiscal year, transit agencies across the state will be in line for $495 million in capital funds. This is allowing transit agencies to work on long-shelved, much-needed repairs. It's helping improve our facilities and our service for those 800,000 people who use our public transportation here in Pennsylvania every single day.
But all is not well regarding Act 89. The $2.3 billion that it will raise will meet only about half of the Commonwealth's transportation funding needs. On top of that, an increasing amount of revenue raised by the Funding Act is being diverted for other state budgetary needs, such as the state police operations.
While we're in a position to make many road and bridge improvements, we simply can't satisfy everybody's wish list. The long list of needed projects is always there. But here is one big reason why, and I'd like to just emphasize one of the issues that has not been solved yet by Act 89, and that is the challenge we have with state police funding. The media has begun to pay attention as well, which is very helpful. So there's a growing public understanding that the current situation is unsustainable and future needs of both our transportation infrastructure and our state police responsibilities must be put on sounder footing in years to come and in the decades ahead. That will be the benefit for everyone in Pennsylvania.
Transportation investment can attract large economic development opportunities. Dave Black talks about a FedEx freight processing operation that will soon be under construction in the Lehigh Valley.
One of these projects is the new FedEx ground facility, a $335 million terminal hub. It will be the largest of the company's 34 terminals in the country. The project is expected to be completed in 2018. It will process 45,000 packages an hour and employ about 600 people. We cannot understate the importance of jobs. On that line, according to the Federal Transportation Highway Administration, every $1 billion in highway investment creates nearly 30,000 jobs. So theoretically, Act 89 would create about 75,000 jobs.
Closer to home, a relatively small project will eliminate a choke point on Interstate 81 in Cumberland County, improving safety and relieving traffic congestion.
In our shop, the Harrisburg Regional Chamber in Creedic, not a single day goes by that we don't talk about I-81 or the potential that that highway has economically for our region. The business community and those involved in economic development eventually would like to see capacity improvements in all of I-81, as well as many other transportation corridors. And from a local standpoint, we are pleased to see this pinch point to be among the first. From a quality of life standpoint, it will mean smoother traffic flow, the easing of traffic backups that occur northbound in the mornings, and improved safety as a result going southbound in the evenings.
The Funding Act covered all modes of transportation, including public transportation, air and seaports, passenger and freight rail, and even bicycle and pedestrian access. Pennsylvania's transportation network is fully integrated, and each part plays an important role in moving people, materials, and products across the state.
Act 89 really was a landmark piece of legislation, and one of the things that make it so unique is really the true multimodal nature of the legislation and the significant amount of investment and recognition of the importance of transit throughout the state. And of those 800,000 transit trips daily that Secretary Richards spoke about 18,000 of those are taken every day on Lanta buses. And I always like to point out that on any given day of those trips, over 50% of those are people going back and forth to work. And another 10 to 15% are people going back and forth to school. Another 10% are seniors riding free, going to their medical appointments, going to their social appointments, and being able to live independently and age in place. One of the things that Act 89 has done for transit is it's provided a reliable source of funding for capital improvements. And especially now with the passage of the FAST Act on the federal level, Act 89 allows transit systems in the state, gives us the ability to match federal grants and not leave $1 of federal funding on the table.
Act 89 was an important step for Pennsylvania, putting us ahead of many other states in addressing transportation needs. It's important that we let it do what it was intended to do, bring our transportation system up to 21st century standards. For more information, visit our website at pahighwayinfo.org.